Today, we get in our cars, buckle up, and drive off. But have you ever wondered who invented this small strip of fabric that has saved millions of lives? Well, its story is more interesting than you might think. In the early 20th century, cars were becoming more popular, but there was a big problem: safety. Accidents were frequent and often fatal. Unlike today, in the 1930s and 1940s, cars had virtually no protection for passengers. Vehicles lacked airbags, crumple zones, or even basic structural reinforcements, making every collision potentially deadly. At the time, road safety was not a priority. Speed limits were often ignored, traffic regulations were minimal, and the concept of crash testing was almost non-existent. People relied on sheer luck to avoid serious injuries in accidents. As the number of cars on the road increased, so did the number of accidents. Governments and engineers began to realize that something had to be done. Various ideas emerged, including padded dashboards, improved brakes, and even the early attempts at seatbelts. Engineers began studying solutions, but the first seatbelt designs weren't very effective. Some models featured simple lap belts, which were initially used in airplanes before being adapted for cars. However, these early designs had major flaws. While they helped in low-speed crashes, they did little to prevent severe injuries in more violent accidents. In some cases, they even caused internal injuries due to the pressure applied only to the abdomen. Additionally, many people refused to wear them. There was a widespread belief that being thrown from a car was safer than being restrained inside it, a dangerous myth that persisted for decades. The lack of public awareness and resistance to change slowed down the widespread adoption of seatbelts. The breakthrough came in 1959, thanks to Nils Bohlin, a Swedish engineer working for Volvo. Bohlin had experience in the aerospace industry and knew that, to protect passengers, a system was needed that secured the body at multiple points. He understood that traditional lap belts were insufficient and could even cause more harm than good. Bohlin's background in designing safety harnesses for fighter pilots played a crucial role in his approach. He realized that a seatbelt should be easy to use, comfortable, and, most importantly, effective in distributing force across the body to minimize injuries. Thus, the three-point seatbelt was born, similar to what we use today: a strap that crosses the chest and another that fastens at the waist. This design prevented a passenger from being thrown forward in a crash, distributing impact force evenly across the strongest parts of the body: the chest, shoulders, and pelvis. One of Bohlin's key innovations was making the seatbelt a single, continuous piece of fabric with a simple locking mechanism. This allowed passengers to fasten it quickly with one hand, increasing the likelihood of its use. The first car to feature Bohlin's invention as standard equipment was the Volvo PV544, and the results were staggering. Early crash tests and real-world data showed that the new seatbelt drastically reduced severe injuries and fatalities. At first, there was resistance to wearing seatbelts, as people found them restrictive or unnecessary. However, safety campaigns and undeniable statistical proof helped shift public perception over time. Volvo made the patent free for all, allowing every car manufacturer to adopt the system. Within a few years, seatbelts became mandatory in many countries. The statistics are clear. Experts estimate that seatbelts have saved over 1 million lives since their debut. Today, cars come with advanced technologies like airbags and automatic braking systems, but the seatbelt remains the most important safety device. So, The next time you buckle up, remember that behind it is a story of ingenuity and innovation that changed the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about the history of everyday inventions.